fellows. First of all, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the IDSA for giving me the opportunity to speak about the topics of my great interest. And thank you for the warm hospitality that you have been according to me. And this is my first trip to India, and everything is just very impressive thus far. In about few minutes, I will present to you a topic, namely water security issues in Southeast Asia, in search of mechanisms, regulations, and norms. Since the organizers are kind enough to circulate my paper, and we will enjoy the morning section about the conceptual framework. So I just here want to emphasize a few other things, and which is basically very policy oriented. One is Dr. Sinha, the panelist here, and I just came back from Tokyo, and we attended the third meeting of CSCAP on water security, so everything is just very fresh in mind. For those of you who are not familiar with CSCAP, I share with you that CSCAP is a Track 2 diplomacy organization that conduct joint studies and make policy recommendations to Track 1, like the AIF, ASEAN Regional Forum, and we are lucky enough to have the Madam Chair here. Is the head representative of CSCAP India. So I think I sit in the right panel. CSCAP has been recently very focused on water security, and we have the first meeting in Hanoi, followed by one meeting in Siem Reap, and the last one in Tokyo. And we look forward to the last one in the series in Chiang Rai, Thailand, where we can hope we can come up with a memorandum of understanding on water security, and we will sum up that all the scientific and research findings into a set of policy recommendations. And also we are very lucky that His Royal Highness Siribut of Cambodia is willing to do whatever he can to pass our recommendations to ASEAN mechanisms, because this year Cambodia is the single chairmanship of ASEAN. So we have a good chance here to push up our research findings. Now let me brief you what we've been discussing thus far within the CSCAP framework. First, all participants agree that water security has become a formidable challenge in Southeast Asia. On this subject, I think we have a lot of reports, academic and policies available either on the internet or maybe in our proceedings today. So let me turn to the second point that's related to water security in Southeast Asia, which is existing mechanisms in Southeast Asia are not very good in dealing with water security thus far. And I take the Mekong River Commission as a typical example. A lot of people say Mekong River, the Mekong River Commission, abbreviated as MRC, remains the only regional institution that can deal with water security, but it's not effective enough. So a lot of participants to the CSCAP meeting in Tokyo, Hanoi, and Siem Reap recommend that we should strengthen the MRC by 1, strengthening the institutionalization of the MRC, 2, improving the effectiveness and efficiency, and 3, expanding the membership. So we are talking about how to improve the MRC to deal more effectively with the water security in Southeast Asia. On institutionalization, many have agreed that the MRC remains too loose an organization to deal with a complex issue like water security in the Mekong. And how complex it is, you can have an idea when you listen to the conceptual framework and also its alternative understanding of non-traditional security. So water security, I think it is the same in that direction. The MRC has just been depending on processes and procedures rather than on something binding. And its working trajectory is largely decided by the CEO, which is more often than not coming from the region. He's from the outside the region. So the national and what is worse is the national Mekong commissions in member countries are basically very bureaucratic and simply do the admin work, and with poor responsiveness when something pop up, and they sometimes they just don't insert the MRC collective commitments into national programs and policies. The MRC has thus far had not any dialogue mechanisms with the private sector, the NGOs, civil society, so it's not very much visible in these important domains. With regard to the proposed solutions to this problem, most of the participants hold that member countries should have a stronger political will to strengthen the MRC and strictly implement the MRC commitments, particularly the 1995 agreement. And even some refer to an overhaul of the MRC, including the establishment of the dispute settlement regimes. So this is very bold. As to how to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the MRC, some participants mentioned the importance of transparency and information sharing vis-a-vis the use and plan of water resources, particularly when it comes to dam building. The role of the CEO must be enhanced, and ideally he or she must come from the region. And one recommends the establishment of special procedures and processes or committees working groups as far as sustainable hydroelectric dams are concerned. On membership expansion, most of the participants welcome China and Myanmar having had the observer status and want to see these important countries to soon to become full members. China has actually shown a great degree of willingness at the latest MRC summit in Hua Hin, Thailand, 2010. But member countries seem to look to further, cooperation to be expanded by the Chinese side. One participant points out that China, being a full member of the MRC, would bring about some very practical interest for China. One is that the Mekong sub-region is a world rice big bowl, so it helps ensure food security. And two, China participation will enhance its leadership role in the region. And three, China cooperation with the lower Mekong countries will eventually help China to have more experience in tackling issues that might arise from 100 international rivers that China shares with neighboring countries. So those are arguments put forward by the participants to the last meetings. For ASEAN and other regional institutions' role, I have already mentioned in my piece, so I don't want to repeat here, but I just want to emphasize two things. One is ASEAN has not been so strong in discussing and acting on water securities. And two, however, some mechanisms within ASEAN, like the ARF, particularly the confidence building measures and preventive diplomacy measures, ASEAN +1, with major partners like India, China, the US, Japan, and Korea, could be very helpful. And we very much look forward to Cambodia chairmanship of ASEAN this year, because Cambodia is a big and increasingly active stakeholder in this matter. So with that, I would like to end my presentation here. I don't want to make people sleepy, and I'm waiting for comments and inputs from the audience. Thank you.